Welcome to another trade of the day here on TraderTV.Live. And hey, I guess we're looking at the Chinese ADR. It's Alibaba time. Now, there's been negative headlines just coming through one after the other. And it feels like maybe we've got the last of it here because Alibaba has had a wipeout bottom. And a lot of times I'd show you a minute chart to go with a 15 and a daily, but the higher time frames only today. And it's a really good reason why. Alibaba puts in a monster retracement. I'm not even going back far enough to show you that 320 top that Baba had cut in half as of earlier this week at 160. Now the key is you got to wipe out bottom a couple of days here through that 50% retracement. You have another couple of negative headlines, of course, coming through with enforcement when it comes into the digital privacy laws. And maybe this is the last ditch. Now, we talked about this a couple of days ago on the live show about long-term trades here in around that 160 level. Let's forget about that for a second because this is about the day trade. You get the wipeout bottom after try to break up. And this is a long we had a couple of days on this show on the 15-minute chart. We actually had this long at 160. We were able to make a winning trade here by not digging back into it on the long side. And it was a fantastic short in our afternoon show. You then come in and still get a wipeout bottom holding that 150, but immediately recovering right back into that 160 level. Then we're gapping up, and every single name in this group was gapping to the upside. So you're going to pick your spots here. I already liked Alibaba. That's what I was trading 2 days ago. That's what I wanted to trade in here today. And you had this tight pre-market range just setting up for a 170 break. Now, on the flip side of this trade, 167 to 168 made some sense. 167, that previous resistance level on that previous break day at 160, 168 being the pre-market low. If it turns through there, you have a natural stop on the breakout trade. What it also gives you is a bit of a dip buy opportunity. I like to play both of those scenarios here. So that's what we went ahead and did. We did make a bit of a mistake. We'll get into why we made this mistake, and it's something to do with why I'm showing you a 15-minute chart here. Once we took the 170 break, I resist the temptation, which is what I would normally do on a breakout trade, to immediately take out that first dollar when it reverses. It then comes back down in. I'm like, oh, we're holding that 168 level. Let's see if we can't do a bit of a dip buy. Once I've done it, I then trick myself back into, oh yeah, 171. Let's take some out there. So twice I dip out of that trade at 171. And I can tell you, the majority of the reason was I was looking at my lower time frame chart. I was looking at my 1 minute chart, which I show on the show for the executions. Taking a step back and looking at this range here, there is no reason to be double dipping out here. Sure, taking off the third makes sense at that 171. We're probably going to be able to rinse and repeat. And in fact, I probably could have done it a couple of more times off of that level. But then we'd be holding on and then thinking about taking some out in this range at 173 to 174. The real range to the top is 75 to 80. Lots of room to the upside. I want to hold on to this thing all day if I even can. As a matter of fact, I'm still in this position as we tape it. But a lot of times, if your setup is coming through off of the daily and the 15-minute, you might not even want to be looking at your 1 minute chart. And that goes against, I'd say, about 60 to 70% of the trading that I would do on the live program. But in this particular case, it was all about the higher time frame. I shouldn't have even been looking at a 1 or 3 minute chart when I was trading Alibaba in today. But I was, and that did trick me into scalping a little bit more out than I should. A winner is a winner, and we're going to be happy with it, but it's about analyzing what you can do better. And this one, because the setup was so simple, was about analyzing and viewing the trade from the proper perspective, and that was taking a step back, when in doubt, zoom out, and looking at my 15-minute chart here, guys. So it didn't matter what you were playing. You could have found breakouts when Futu was moving and actually gave you a couple of good shorting opportunities. But you could have been looking at Pinduo, which was moving today. The entire sector going gangbusters, JD.com as well. I was in Alibaba because that's the one we've been looking at since that 160 level became so important. Let me know in the comment section, of course, what did you make money on today in the Chinese sector? I mean, it could have been any of these ADRs. It could have been any of these dual listed names. But I'm curious to see where the money got made. Big movement, of course. Check out our daily show, both in the morning and at the close. TraderTV Live coming to you one more time. See you out in the market, guys.